Hey, what up YouTube? This is Izong. Thanks for tuning in. In today's 30 plus minute video, we're gonna throw the rosters of Street Fighter 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and the Alpha games all on one big heap. And we're gonna rank these characters from 88 to 1, from boring to exciting. I'll put in timestamps so you can skip to your favorite characters, and please let me know in the comments what you think, because there's no way you're gonna agree with something this subjective. Let's get it started with number 88, which is 11. 11 made its debut in Street Fighter V. He's the predecessor of 12 from Third Strike, and he's not really his own character. He's a glorified random select. You pick 11 and the CPU will pick a character for you and even pick the V skills and V triggers. Number 87, we have Shin Akuma, also not a real character. You can't play him and unlock him, but he's banned from the tournament scene and he's not really meant to be played outside just having fun and having something to unlock in Street Fighter 2. At number 86, I have Juli. Her and her twin sister Juni. These are replacement bodies for Bison. They both star in Street Fighter Alpha 3 Max, which is the console version, the PSP version of Street Fighter Alpha. And these characters are just palette swaps, mostly from Cammy. Both the looks and the story and their special moves. They do have different supers, which you'll see in the clip right here, but they're not that unique. Number 84, we have a Violent Ken, last addition to Street Fighter 2. And this is of course the evil version of Ken, if you would give into the Satsui no Hado. And he does have his own moveset. He moves quicker, does more damage, and has unique combos. Number 83, we have F.A.N.G, basically the biggest flop in modern day. He's in Street Fighter V. He has really weird movements, kind of a slimy attitude, and he's really not that exciting to watch. That's why I ranked him pretty low. At number 82, we have Decapre, another palette swap for Cammy. She is more fleshed out because she was playable in Street Fighter 4. She was actually the last character that was added in Ultra Street Fighter 4, where everybody was hype about the last spot, and then they came out with Decapre, and people were just kind of disappointed, which is why I ranked her this low on the list. Number 81, we have Eagle, who was actually a Street Fighter 1 character, and I'm only ranking 2 through 6 plus the Alpha games, and he is playable in Street Fighter Alpha. And he seems pretty interesting, but I don't really feel strong about him, so I ranked him kind of low. At number 80, we have Abigail, who's a Final Fight character, of course, in Metro City. He comes with this awesome stage, maybe my favorite stage of all time, one of the favorite stages at least. And he's a big boy, a big bully with a command grab and does a lot of damage. But his whole attitude about being about cars, saying vroom vroom, not that exciting. At number 79, bit more exciting, is Fuerte. He's actually kind of fun to watch, but not that fun to play against. He has crazy mix-ups like I'll put in the clip right here, but I don't think he's gonna make his return, and that's why he's pretty low on the list. At number 78, might be surprising, but I put Lily on there. I think aesthetically she's actually pretty cool, but she's the remake of T-Hawk, who himself is also not ranked that high, so she's already basically a copy, and she's not functioning in Street Fighter 6 so far. Number 87, we have Rufus, who was playable in Street Fighter 4, also made an appearance in Cross Tekken actually. And this character is a loudmouthed American fighter, really fat and looks like a joke kinda. I'm not a fan of his aesthetics at all, not that exciting. Number 76, we have Necalli, who initially seemed exciting because he was the face of Street Fighter V, but both in the character story arc and both in gameplay as well, he was really mid. He lost a whole bunch of fights, he was not that exciting, and he just didn't really work. And at the end of the game, he did work, but he was very mid. At number 75, I have Ingrid, who was playable in Alpha 3 Max, late edition. And there's not much known about this character, but she is a bit more intriguing than the ones we saw already. So I put her at 75, but she has the potency to be up higher if she made a return later. 74, I have Birdie, and he was part of one of the most exciting games in Street Fighter V, the Capcom Cup Finals, where Mena beat Tokido. And this was awesome to see. I kind of like what they did with Birdie, making him non-pleasing aesthetically, basically. But at least it was a choice. He was very mid in the alpha games, but he looks kind of cool in Street Fighter V. At number 73, I have Oni, which is also like an evil version, even more evil than Akuma. And you already saw me rank Shin Akuma really low. Oni also is just... he's cooler than that, so I ranked him a little bit higher. I am excited about this character, but not that excited. At number 72, I have Maki, who's also pretty cool. We're already in the realm where characters are not bad at all, in my opinion. Maki is a Bushin Rinyu fighter, but the problem for her is that there are a lot of Bushin fighters, and most of them are ranked higher. Only one spot higher, though, is Kimberly. Also might be a surprise. I played this character in the Street Fighter 6 beta. And she's a really kind of a copy of Guy. Yeah, I'm not that big of a fan of Kimberly, to be honest. One spot higher is Sodom. Sodom was kind of a joke character in the alpha games, but he was still pretty cool and kind of funny. He's an American who wants to be Japanese but doesn't really know how to speak it. I wouldn't mind seeing him back sometimes. He was only in the alpha games. We might be able to try him out again. At 69, I have Hakan, who was also in one of the more famous matches for Street Fighter 4, where we saw Infiltration pick him as a counter pick. He was low tier, and Infiltration picked him to beat PR Balrog, one of the top players in Street Fighter 4. And he has this oil up mechanic, so he was kind of ahead of his time, something you see a lot in Street Fighter 6 now. Number 68, we have 12 from Third Strike and Street Fighter 3. 12 is notoriously bad because he does no damage at all, but his toolkit is pretty interesting. He has a float, he has all kinds of pretty crazy stuff, and he even has an X copy move where he can turn into his opponent, which is kind of cool. Number 67, we have Kage, who by himself is able to rank a lot higher because he's really exciting to watch with really cool combos. The thing is that he's just a clone of Evil Ryu, who's also in his list, and spoiler, Evil Ryu is ranked a lot higher, so he doesn't have the uniqueness to his personality. That's why I ranked him kind of low, but he is fun to watch. Number 66, we have Abel. Abel is also ranked pretty low because this is the face of Street Fighter 4, right? He's the main character, the main protagonist, and he's kind of fun to play, but I just don't like how he looks aesthetically. And you'll see a lot of these characters ranked around this range. They're all already pretty cool, so no slight to Abel at all. Because at number 65 we have T-Hawk, who is part of the Street Fighter 2 original World Warriors. And he's also ranked pretty low, even though his moveset is kind of enticing. A command grab, an approach tool, even has an uppercut, so that's all really cool. But he's just such a stereotype that I find it hard to be really excited watching this character. Number 64, we have Remy, who's the emo boy in Third Strike and Street Fighter 3. Remy is kind of a Guile knockoff combined with Sagat. He's a charged character who has high and low projectiles, so he's pretty interesting to watch, but his personality kind of itches me the wrong way. Still, he's ranked pretty alright. Number 63, we have Ed, and I'm recording this right after the Ed trailer dropped. And I was not a fan of Ed in Street Fighter V at all. I thought he didn't really look good aesthetically. And I didn't like his theme and his voice actor. They changed all of that in Street Fighter 6. He looks better now, but I'm still not a fan. 62, we have his sister, Falke. And I think she's a little bit cooler. She's a zoner who works a little bit better, in my opinion, in that way. Also not that hyped about seeing her back, but we'll see. Number 61, we have Adon from the Alpha series. And Adon is the fighter that wants to take the crown from Sagat. That's his whole story arc. It's alright, but I think his fighting style is actually pretty interesting, so ranked him a little bit higher. Number 60, we have Lucia, also a Final Fight character who made her playable appearance in Street Fighter V. And she was really cool when she came out, and I was hyped for this character. I did play her for a little bit, and I think she's a fun character with a really complete kit. The thing is that, I don't know, something just watered down across the time span of Street Fighter V. She never really made it big. She was never in tournaments either, maybe that's part of it. Number 59, we have Marisa, a newcomer in Street Fighter 6. Played this character the first week, and I think she's pretty cool, but she's kind of like Abigail, big buttons with a command grab. I think she's a pretty fun character actually, so ranked her quite a bit higher than Abigail. At number 58, we have Rolento, and this is of course a Mad Gear gang member, and he fights with sticks. He has bombs. He's a pretty interesting character. I really liked him in the Alpha series, and he was alright in Street Fighter 4 as well. That looks pretty cool, right? Number 57, we have Rashid, who made his debut in Street Fighter 5. The thing about him is that people are quite annoyed with him because he dominated in Street Fighter 5 for like 4 years straight. And he's back in Street Fighter 6, and he's pretty good again, but not as blatantly as in Street Fighter 5. He has a really cool rushdown playstyle. He's pretty cool. Number 56, we have the poster boy of Street Fighter 6, which is Luke. And I think he's really well done in Street Fighter 6 actually. The reason he's still not that high on the list is because in Street Fighter 5 he was a real menace. He was purposely overpowered. So that is still quite a slight to his reputation in my opinion. At number 55 we have Q from Street Fighter 3. And Q is really cool because he's one of the biggest enigmas in Street Fighter history. It's really unclear what his story is, who he is, and what he's doing. He has a command grab, he has a taunt that improves his defense in third strike. It's a pretty interesting playstyle. 54, another newcomer in Street Fighter 6, which is Manon, who is said to be basically based on Abel. But she combines throwing and judo with ballet, which is alright I guess. Not that excited, but still a pretty cool character. 53, another World Warrior. After T-Hawk, Honda also not ranked that high. He's been pretty consistent in all of these Street Fighter games. He's present most of the time. And while I do like the idea of a sumo wrestler in a fighting game, he's just really annoying to play against, and he's really linear, plays the same way all the time. At number 52 we have Elena, who was in Street Fighter 3 and later on also in Street Fighter 4. I really like this character. I wanted to rank her a little bit higher. But also kind of like Rashid and Luke, leaving a sour taste in the mouth for being overpowered for years. Number 51 we have Aki. But we saw F.A.N.G rank really low. Aki is a lot higher, and that is because she's just a way more fun character to watch than F.A.N.G. The moveset is kind of similar, but she has like a retribution mechanic where you can actually do custom combos if your opponent is poisoned, which makes her a lot more interesting than F.A.N.G. At number 50 we have Nash, who has one of the coolest story arcs actually in Street Fighter. He started off being kind of similar to Guile in a way, but he really grew into his own and became his own character in Street Fighter 5, and I think he's done really well. Number 49, also a Street Fighter 5 character, actually a rival school character, which is Akira Kazama. Also played this character for a bit, and I thought she was really fun. She is the character with the coolest air combos. With the V-Skill 2, she can call up her big brother for the V-Trigger 1, which makes up for really cool combos. I thought Akira was a big success in Season 5 of Street Fighter 5. Next up is number 48, which is Seth. And I would have ranked Seth a little bit lower actually, because I didn't think he was that interesting in Street Fighter 4. The concept where you can steal the moves of other characters is pretty cool, but I didn't like how he looked at all. And they redid him completely for Street Fighter 5 and turned him into a woman, which makes the character a lot cooler, and also the entire demeanor about this character changed, making him more cool. Next up is Sean from Street Fighter 3. He was actually pretty good in Second Impact, and he really sucked in Third Strike, which they did on purpose, but I think this character has a lot of potential, and I wouldn't be surprised at all to see him back at some point. Next up at 46 we have Blanca, and Blanca is a character which I didn't really find that enjoying, but is really recognizable from the Street Fighter 2 roster. But I did really like what they did to him in Street Fighter 6, where they gave him a mix-up with the little Blanca-chans, and I really like how they doubled down on the whole Blanca-chan thing, even though I don't like that costume. Number 45, we have Karin and Miss Kanzuki here, also played by one of my favorite players, Bonchan, actually won Evo. I think Karin is really fun. She was in the Alpha series and she was in Street Fighter V. The thing that puts her in the middle of the pack is because she also dominated for years. Number 44, I have Gouken, who was only playable in Street Fighter 4, which is a shame because I thought he was a really nice variation on the Shoto concept. He is the teacher of Ryu and Ken, and I think this character is pretty cool. I want to see him back sometime. At number 43, we have Colleen, who made her first appearance in Third Strike, where she was the assistant to Gil, and she made her playable debut in Street Fighter V, where she is the Ice Woman. Also plays a big part in the story, and she has really nice mix-ups, big buttons, and even a counter move, which is pretty cool. That looks good, right? Number 42, we have Necro from Street Fighter 3, and Necro, they say he's kind of a cross between Dalsim and Blanca. And if you look at his moveset with electricity and long limbs, you can understand that, but he doesn't play like that at all. He's a pretty unique character, and I do enjoy watching Necro play. Number 41, we have Dalsim. And our Yoga Master is also a regular. He's in all of these games except for Street Fighter 3. And Dalsim, he is the long-limbed character, the Monkey D. Luffy of Street Fighter. And I ranked him in the mid because he plays kind of the same all the time. Street Fighter 6, he's a little bit different. We'll see how it all wraps up. Next up is Dan. And while his moveset is not that interesting in my opinion, outside of chaining buttons with his V-Skill 2 in Street Fighter V, which is cool, I think his character makes up for everything. Number 39, we have Yun. And Yun is a pretty cool character. He's ranked at number 39. He could have been ranked higher. The problem with him is that he's always top tier. And that makes people like me a little bit tired of him sometimes. One spot higher, I placed his brother. Just as cool as Yun actually, but the thing about Yang is that he was not overpowered the way Yun was, and it gives him a slight advantage in how excited I would be to watch this character play in a match right now. I love the stage of these brothers as well in Street Fighter Third Strike. There we go. Yang. Next up is number 37, and that is Dee Jay, who was alright in Street Fighter 2, not that exciting in Street Fighter 4, but they really did him a favor in Street Fighter 6. He's a completely different character now with new moves, a lot of fakes, fake fireball. He has a like a built-in shimmy move as well that can go high and can go low. I think they did a really good job on Dee Jay. Number 36, Evil Ryu, and we already saw the evil characters ranked pretty low. Evil Ryu is ranked pretty high. That's because he was definitely the most successful of all the evil variations to Shotos, and of course made famous mostly by Daigo, who played him a lot in Street Fighter 4. Number 35, we have Makoto from Street Fighter 3 and Street Fighter 4 actually. And Makoto actually has the slowest walk speed in Street Fighter 3, but the best dash of all characters, plus a command grab to back it up. Kind of an annoying character to fight against, but I really enjoy watching Makoto games, and she's also a fan favorite. Number 34, we have Fei Long from Street Fighter 2 as well, also present in the Alpha games and in Street Fighter 4. And this is the character based on Bruce Lee, of course, but what sets him apart is that he was the first character to have real Rekka series, which is a pretty cool mechanic and is still present through Jamie in Street Fighter 6. Number 33, we have Laura from Brazil, the big brother from Sean. And Laura is a grapple who's really annoying to play against, but really fun to watch. Really like watching the Adon games. She has a fireball to walk behind, she has a command grab, but she's more of a mix-up character than a grappler actually. I think she's a fun character. I wouldn't mind seeing her back actually. Hate me for that. Number 32, we have Guy, another Final Fight character, the buddy of Cody. And he is the ninja walking around with the Air Force Ones right there, the Nikes. And he is a pure rushdown character, and he's really fun to watch in my opinion. A way better Bushin Rinyu representative than, let's say, Maki and Kimberly. Number 31, we have JP, a new addition from Street Fighter 6. Right now he's kind of suffering in my perspective because he's so overpowered, but he is fun to watch and aesthetically very pleasing, and I really like his demeanor here. Throwing a napkin on his opponent. Pretty cool. Number 30, we have Balrog, the brawling boxer from Street Fighter 2. He was also in the Alpha series, Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5, and I would be really surprised if he wasn't back for Street Fighter 6 later on. Really like this character because he just exerts violence, which is fun in a fighting game. Number 29, Ibuki, the queen of the mix-ups, the ninja. She is from Street Fighter 3 originally, but also really liked watching her in Street Fighter 5 as well. Street Fighter 4 as well. This character is all about mix-ups with the bomb. She has the kunais to throw. I think Ibuki is a very successful character. Number 28, we have Vega, who was one of my favorites when I was young in Street Fighter 2. And I really like what they did to him in Street Fighter 5. They turned him into a real stance character, which was a fun touch. Too bad for him that he was low tier most of the time, so he was not in tournaments that much. Number 27, we have Yugo, talking about low tier. Yugo also a really fun character to watch though. I really like him in Third Strike, not that much in Street Fighter 4, but I love watching Yugo matches in Street Fighter 3. You cannot tell me that this character is not hyped to watch in Third Strike. Based on Andre the Giant. Number 26, we have Poison. And I really like the aesthetics of Poison, kind of the dominatrix. Not really my cup of tea, but I do enjoy watching her, especially with the Monotov cocktails that she throws. The Poison cocktail giving really cool combos. And personally, I was also a fan of the V-Trigger 2, where she had the command grab with the whip. Really cool and an awesome super. Number 25, we have Manat, who has the potency to be higher on the list. I really love this character aesthetically, and I really enjoy watching this character. Pretty high execution, so you know you're watching Mastery when this character wins tournaments. Problem is she was only in Street Fighter 5, which is kind of a knock on her. Hope she's back in Street Fighter 6. At number 24, we have Cammy, and we're really getting into the higher ranks right now. Cammy is one of the most popular characters. Everybody was hyped when she came to Street Fighter 6. She looks the part. The only thing that holds her back a little bit from really being on top of the list is that the moveset is pretty basic most of the time, though recognizable. Another fan favorite at number 23, which is Juli. And let's not talk about the feat, but about the moveset. She has the Feng Shui engine, which is really fun, both in Street Fighter 5 and 6. 4 as well, by the way. But also the fact that you have to get up stocks and then you can change your combos based on the stocks you have. One of the first characters who really worked with resources, which is something that is very prevalent in Street Fighter 6 right now. So Juri is ahead of her time. And come on, man, watching this stuff in tournament, that's pretty cool, right? Credit to Desk for making these videos. Go look him up on YouTube. At number 22, we have Gen, and Gen is a stance character. He has the crane stance where he can get access to a different moveset. And he's an old master, and he was in Street Fighter 4 and in the Alpha series. And I really hope they bring this character back. There was some art of a character that looked like him on the board for Capcom. So let's keep our fingers crossed. At number 21, the All-American Hero, which is Guile, of course. The first charge character, basically, who made an entire living out of 2 moves, Sonic Boom and Flash Kick. And that has been a very successful combination, and I love what they did to his physique in Street Fighter 6. Looks good in the RE engine. Number 20, we have Sakura Kasuganu. And this character, of course, is a big fangirl of Ryu, but I do like how they made this their own character. And I was hyped when this character actually won EVO, which was a massive surprise when Naumon won. Played her for a little bit in Street Fighter 5, thought she was more fun in the Alpha series. Number 19, we have Alex from Street Fighter 3, also made an appearance in Street Fighter 5. And his character is pretty low tier usually, but he's really fun to watch. Of course, has the command grabs, and it just exerts violence, just like Balrog. It really hits hard when his character is mashing on you, so he's fun to watch for me. At number 18, we have the highest ranked newcomer in Street Fighter 6, and that is Jamie. And of course, he's kind of based on Yun and Yang, but they turn him into a drunken boxer, which is pretty cool. and he has the drink mechanic where he has to get more drinks to get access to his full toolkit, making him one of the characters that really make you think the most, both when you play against him and when you play as him. At number 17, one of my favorite grapplers, and that is of course Rainbow Mika, in part because of her personality, which really shines. She's an alpha character, but was also in Street Fighter V. Doesn't look like she's gonna be in Street Fighter 6, but with a super like that, one can only get his hopes up, right? So hope we see this character back. Number 16, we have Dudley, also from Street Fighter 3, also in Street Fighter 4, but he was missing in action in Street Fighter 5. They have to bring this character back. He has a lot of charisma, and he's a really fun watch, especially when a guy like Smug, who also has a lot of charisma, of course, picks him up. At number 15, another guy with huge charisma and also a big enigma in the Street Fighter series, only playable in Street Fighter V. His story is the most interesting in the entire realm of Street Fighter, and I cannot wait for them to conclude. He was also mad spectacular to watch with crazy combos in his V-Trigger one. What an awesome character, they have to bring him back. At number 14, we have Gil, the final boss of Street Fighter 3. And he's actually playable in Street Fighter 3 in special editions, but he's also in Street Fighter 5, of course. And his retribution mechanic is really awesome. His super is the coolest in the game, in my opinion. And he oozes charisma, where he wants to change the world into a better place, but he's actually not really a good guy. Number 13, C. Viper, who only made an appearance in Street Fighter 4 and not in 5, which was a huge surprise for me. She was in Street Fighter Cross Tekken, and they need to bring this character back because her fight style is hype. She's the only single mom in the entire series. This character is a standout compared to a lot of characters, so I ranked her pretty high. Number 12 is Julian from Third Strike as well, Street Fighter 3, also in Street Fighter 5. And this character is hype to watch because, there we go, that is the big reason. He has all of the mix-ups with the Aegis Reflector, which is extremely cool, and you can get combos like this. You can watch that for days. Number 11, we have Ken Masters, who was in every single Street Fighter game, just like Ryu. He was a palette swap for Ryu in Street Fighter 1, but he became his own character as a rushdown version of the Shoto archetype. Ken is mega popular, so you gotta rank him high. So I did, I put him at number 11, which is still one spot behind the top 10, and at number 10 we have the First Lady of Fighting Games, and that is Chun-Li. And Chun-Li is a mega cool character. She dominated in Third Strike, she's always strong, always in tournaments, and they changed her up in Street Fighter 6 into a stance character, which is a risky decision, but she has the charisma and she has the combos to pull it off, and once again, a top tier that is doing mad damage in tournament. Number 9, let's talk about hype, that is Oro, and he's originally a Street Fighter 3 character, but he really captured my heart in Street Fighter 5. This character takes a beating all game, but then pulls out the Tango Stones and suddenly we have 60 hit combos, pure fireworks, and his entire demeanor with the turtle is just awesome to watch. Number 8, we have Rose, and Rose is one of my favorite characters because aesthetically I think she's absolutely marvelous, just looks amazing. She's a zoner, has a very diverse toolset, but can also get in with teleports, and it's just, the whole creation of this character is just amazing. Look how good that looks. The stage is fire as well, of course. At number 7, it's my personal favorite, that is Zeku. And I only put him at number 7, I wanted to put him higher, but he was only playable in one game, and that is Street Fighter V. And that is not enough to be a top 5 character in a field that is this strong. So I put Zeku at number 7, the Bush and Ryu representative. He's 2 characters at once, and that makes for really fun decision making mid-match. At number 6, the guy this channel was named after, and his final fight's Cody. And Cody is just, he has an awesome demeanor, he has an awesome character arc, he has a great tool set, and he has mix-ups for days with that V-Trigger 2 in Street Fighter V. That was just awesome, but I also like him in, for example, in the Alpha series and Street Fighter 4. At number 5, every good game needs a good bad guy, just like a movie, and M. Bison is the best bad guy you can ever think of. This guy is just pure evil, there's no other motive than evil, and he has a very, very nice toolset, a charged character, and he's just very popular and often really strong. I love watching Problem X play him, for example. At number 4, we have the poster boy Ryu, and you can make a case for putting him at number 1, but his toolset is kind of boring compared to the rest of the cast, and still he's extremely fun to watch because he's usually low tier, and he is the definition of just raw skill. If you win big with Ryu, it's because you played well, and that makes him really fun to watch. At number 3 was the guy that I started playing fighting games with, and that is Sagat. And I really like watching this character, man. Bonchan Sagat is fire. He is, of course, a Street Fighter 2 character, also in the Alpha Series 4 and 5. And I cannot wait to bring this awesome looking character back in Street Fighter 6. And best believe I'm gonna pick him up as soon as he's out. How cool is that? And then at number 2 we have Zangief. And personally, I'm not a grappler kind of guy. I did place grapplers pretty high on this list, and I have Zangief as number 2, and that is because watching him is really fun. I wouldn't play him myself, but I remember watching this game live between Itabashi Zangief and Daigo's Guile, and I was cheering so hard when Itabashi won. The low tier god hero, Zangief. And number 1, the most exciting character to watch in the Street Fighter series, in my opinion, is Akuma. And he's gonna be in Street Fighter 6 soon. He's in most of the Street Fighter games, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that is because this character is so cool. And finishing the round with a Raging Demon is just a lust to watch. So my number 1 is Akuma. I hope you guys enjoyed this list. I understand that you're not gonna agree with this at all, so put in the comments how you would rank these characters. I put timestamps so you can skip to your favorite character. Thank you for watching, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video, alright? Peace.